everyone. I'm Dr. Julie Foss. You can call me Dr. Foss, Julie, or Dr. Julie, whatever feels most comfortable for you. I'm really excited to be teaching this class. It's always really an enjoyable experience for me, and the feedback that I get from students is that they really learn a lot over the course of the semester, and so I hope the same is true for you. The purpose of this video is to sort of walk you through the course, talk about some of the major expectations, show you where things are in Canvas so you can be successful this semester. If you are watching this video, you've already figured out where the modules page is, and that's where most of the content that you'll need in this class is. So I'm here at the Canvas homepage. This will change next week, and the homepage will be the modules page. And obviously, you've already read through this and learned that to get started, you need to click on modules and start at the Start Here module. You've also opened this assignment. And what I'd like to do now, hopefully you've read the syllabus, but I'd like to pull it up because I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but there are some things that I'd like to highlight. And the syllabus and this video are the basis of the quiz that you'll need to take in order to unlock the rest of the content on the Canvas page. If you're not familiar with downloading documents from Canvas and viewing them, if you just click on I think most students just click on the document and then it comes up in this window, but I think it would probably be more useful to you if you click on the down arrow to download it and then you open it. And if it doesn't open automatically, in your browser somewhere you should see a little down arrow, and if you click on that you should be able to click through to it. But I'd like to look at a few things on the syllabus to start with. You've got my contact information right at the top and office hours. We'll talk about those in a minute. And of course you have the course description and the learning objectives. And these are all important, and I'd like to have you read through them, but I will tell you that my overarching objective for you in this class is that you learn new ways to think about people who live differently than you do. And all of the work that we do this semester is really going to be towards that end. Because, and I think I repeat this in one of the other videos, we all, regardless of whether you're going to stay in Michigan for the rest of your life, or you're going to travel internationally or works in another state, you are going to encounter people from different cultures. And maybe that doesn't necessarily mean people from different countries, but you're going to encounter people who have different ideas, have different values, and one of the aims of this course is to give you some tools to help understand people who aren't like you and to work well with them. So those are the overall objectives. This course is, as is mentioned, in course format. Let me make this a little bit bigger. This is a fully online asynchronous class, which means that we will not be meeting either in person or virtually. You're going to be working on your own, submitting assignments on Canvas. You will, however, you've already been assigned to a smaller discussion group that's about just about 8 people per group. And every week you'll have at least one discussion assignment where you'll be participating, you'll be responding, interacting in that small group. This is a pretty large class. There are 40 students enrolled, and in a fully online class like this, without those groups, I find it's really hard to feel any sort of connection or community. And I really hope that within those smaller groups that you'll feel that sense of belonging and connection. A few words on required materials and technology. If you visited the bookstore or their website, you've seen that the required materials for this class are 3 30-minute Talk Abroad Global Experience Conversation credits. You can buy those right now. Next week, in week 2, we'll talk about what it is that you're going to be doing with those. I'll give you a preview of that, but we'll kind of walk through the nuts and bolts next week of what you need to do to use the Talk Abroad service, which is going to be the basis for your final project. Work is going to be completed, not surprisingly, in an online class, online. You need access to a computer that has full functionality, including video and audio recording capabilities with Canvas, Microsoft Word, and Talk Abroad, which we'll get to soon. If you, at any point during the semester, need a computer, know that you can check those out from Zano Library, both on a short-term and a longer-term basis. Also, I have a list here of all of the technical skills that you need to be, and they're pretty basic, to be able to succeed in this class. And as is noted today, if you need help developing any of these skills, please drop in at, or I think they also have online office hours, at ITS on the second floor of Zanow Library. That's what they're there for. So you'll need, the one that I want to highlight here is, because I'm finding that as people are working more and more in the cloud, they maybe don't have as developed skills working with documents that are saved locally. So for a lot of assignments in this class, I'm going to provide you with a Word document that's sort of a worksheet. You'll need to download it, just like you just saw me download the syllabus from Canvas. You'll need to edit it, save it, find it, and then upload it to Canvas. If you're not sure how to do that, please contact ITS. You can also find lots of tutorials online. And that's a nice segue as well into communication in office hours, or how to get help. So if you need technical help, there are some things I can help you with and some things I can't. I'm not an IT person, but you can certainly contact me and ask. My preferred method of communication is email. And you can also email me. We'll flip back to Canvas. You can also go to the inbox. If you can use your SVSU email account, or you can click on the inbox and type a message to me directly in Canvas. So those are my preferred communication methods. I aim to answer emails within no more than 24 hours, and usually much sooner during the week. On the weekends, it just depends on what I have going on, usually a little bit longer. I should tell you, though, that I stop checking my email at the end of my workday. That's kind of one of my work-life balance strategies. So if you email me after 6 o'clock about in the evening, you're probably not going to hear from me until the next day. That doesn't mean you shouldn't email me. Please email me whenever it's convenient for you, but just know that I might not respond immediately in the evening. This is important for any class that you're in. If you do contact me and it's not through Canvas, which will tell me which class you're enrolled in, please make sure that you include MFL 210 in the title or the body of the message. And if you're writing about a particular assignment, include the specific name of that assignment. It's not super helpful to me if you say the assignment due on Tuesday, because then I have to go look it up, and there are probably multiple assignments due on Tuesday, so that helps me to help you. This kind of relates back to the technical skills, and if you need help with those, one of the ways you can do that is through office hours. And I think most undergraduate students don't really take advantage of office hours fully, and I encourage you to do so. You probably don't realize it at this point in your college career. Maybe you do, but I know I certainly didn't. But your professors can be really helpful to you beyond just helping out with assignments or answering questions about the class. But if you have good relationship with faculty, they're going to think about you when opportunities come up that you might be interested in. So not just for me, I encourage you every semester to meet with all of your professors at least once during office hours. And for me, since this is an online class, and I know some of you may not even be on campus, I do have online office hours. You'll see, I'm going to flip back up to page 1. So my online office hours are Wednesdays, noon to just about 2 p.m. And here's a link. This is a Zoom link that will get you there. And when we get back into the Canvas page, you'll also see a link there. If you prefer to talk to me in person, I will be in my office in 336 Brown, both Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 to 10:20. Accessibility and non-discrimination policy. If you need accommodations, please do not hesitate to talk to ARA in WIX 260 about that. Assignment and grades. I'd just like to briefly, you'll see these kind of in action when we get back to Canvas. But I'd like to just kind of outline the types of assignments that you'll complete. So each module, each week will have its own module. Those modules are going to open the Wednesday before assignments are due. Assignments are going to be due Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And the week before that first Tuesday, on Wednesday, the module will open, and you will see these types of assignments. Preview assignments will ask you to reflect on what you already know and want to know about the week's topics. And then the real content of the module are activities called watch and read. So you'll watch videos, sometimes that'll be me talking, sometimes it will be external videos, you'll read texts, and you'll complete activities that might include practice quizzes to help you understand the content. Discuss and respond is really the interactive piece of this class. So within your small groups, you're going to participate in online discussions where you will discuss, clarify, apply what you learned from watching and reading, and then you will respond to the people in your group as well. At the end of each module, there will be a quiz to let you demonstrate what you learned, and there will also be an assignment that asks you to reflect on what you learned and why it matters. I'm not going to talk too much today about the Talk Abroad conversations and the video project because we're going to really jump into those in depth next week. But you are going to be using the Talk Abroad platform to connect with English speaking partners. This class, if I didn't mention it earlier, is conducted in English. I know there's sometimes some confusion about that. But you will be talking with English speaking partners from 3 different French speaking countries in order to learn something about a topic that interests you, and then at the end of the semester you'll compile that information with some independent research into a video presentation. Before we wrap up talking about assignments and grades, I just want to point out, and this is really important and maybe a little stricter than what you're used to, but in this class, late and missing work will receive a grade of 0. And in an online class, a fully online class, I find that that's really important because it helps you keep on track, and it also helps me to be able to have a consistent grading schedule so that I can give you feedback in a timely way. That said, I know that unfortunately things happen during the course of the semester, and if you have an emergency, if you have some sort of extraordinary circumstance that is going to require you to turn things in late, please just contact me beforehand if possible. If those circumstances prevent it, as soon as possible afterward. But please just contact me and we can always find a solution. But if it's just that you're not staying on top of work or not managing your time, you turn something in late and Canvas is set up to automatically give you a 0. The other thing I want to mention, if you're not tired of hearing about AI already, and I know a lot of us are, even if we use AI for various purposes in our life, but it's something we really have to talk about in higher education. So if you, and let me just say, I presume that you're here because you want to learn, and I know that many of you are probably taking this particular class because you have to fulfill general education requirements, and that's fine. I get that. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you've chosen this class. But thinking more broadly, I expect that you're an SVSU, that you're a college because you want to be a different person at the end of your 4 years or your 5 years or whenever you get your degree. And if you are cheating, if you're using AI to do thinking and work for you, if you're kind of outsourcing the mental work that is involved in college, then you're not going to be a different person. You're not going to be a stronger thinker. You're not going to know more. You're not going to be better equipped for what the world is going to throw at you. So that's kind of my big picture plea, to not use AI to do thinking and to do original work for you. That said, you'll see that if you want to use tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, etc., to do things like brainstorm ideas, clarify grammar, organize thoughts, proofread for you, that's absolutely fine. But what you can't use it for in this class is original thinking, original writing, analysis, and also personal reflection. As mentioned before, one of the assignments you're going to do in every single module is reflecting on why the material that we just interacted with, that we just learned, matters to you. And AI can't do that for you. So if you do use AI for all of the wonderful things that it can do, like proofreading and organizing and outlining and that kind of stuff, I just ask that you disclose it, and most assignments will have a place for you to do that. I will also say that if I suspect that you're using AI for purposes that I don't authorize, or being in other ways academically dishonest, I'll ask to talk to you about it. Because honestly, in my experience, most people and most students really are trying hard and really do care. And I don't ever want to misinterpret something that I'm seeing without talking to you. So I'll always ask to have a conversation with you, and that can certainly be an online conversation, and we'll talk through it. But if I do determine that you have been academically dishonest or using AI in an unauthorized way, that will result in a grade of 0 on the assignment and a referral to the office, potentially a referral to the Office of Student Conduct. Okay. Moving on from that, that necessary but kind of a bummer conversation, you'll see on the last pages of the syllabus that there is a calendar. And each week, as I mentioned, assignments are due Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And I've tried to set this course up so it's a very predictable sort of structure, and you'll see the same kinds of assignments due on the same days. So you have a list here of all of the topics that we're going to be covering, and this also maps out the workload for you throughout the semester. Now I'd like to flip back to Canvas to just really briefly look at how the modules will be organized. I want to point out that if you've not already taken the quiz that is attached to this assignment and scored 100%, 6 out of 6, and I should note that the quiz is really on what we just talked about, the syllabus, you will be prevented from advancing into content modules. This is an informational module right here with the syllabus, my office hours link, and a link to ITS if you need it. But if you haven't completed that quiz with 100%, you won't be able to access this content module. And these assignments are due starting on Tuesday, January 13. As is noted, please complete the assignments in order. You'll note that there is a discussion assignment, and I'm just going to open these up briefly. So this is where you will interact with members of your group and make a short video where you introduce yourself. I have a model, and I also have some technical help here if you need it. And then you will be responding to at least 4 of your colleagues then by January 15th, which is Thursday. The preview assignment asks you to think about what you might know about this week's module topic, and that is, what is culture? So this is a brief reflection on how you would define or give examples of what culture is. And then the next assignment is a watch and read. This is a video lecture, and you also have so you have a video lecture here, and you also have the document that I present here, and then a practice quiz to test your understanding. And you might see that in this module and in future modules, you'll see that all of these assignments are grayed out. And that's because if you see right here in this watch and read, the 3 Ps of culture, one of the requirements is that you score at least 5 out of 6 on that practice quiz in order to advance. And that's really to make sure you understand these key concepts that you'll then be applying in another discussion and then in a final quiz. And there's also, I think I may not have published the reflective assignment, but that will be at the end of the module in just a quick second as well. So I hope that helps you to understand the structure of the course, what's expected of you, how it's organized on Canvas. If you have any questions, that reflective assignment that you'll soon see at the end of the week 1 module is an opportunity for you to ask those questions as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about the 3 Ps of culture, and please reach out if I can be of help. See you soon.